And it's not an emergency, is it? So Greta today or yesterday...
Not in the same way, no.
She said we've got 2 years to save the planet. No, we haven't.
They say that every couple of years.
2 years.
They had a couple of years on, don't they?
It's like that David Bowie song, 5 years, that's all we've got. No, we haven't.
We're supposed to be underwater by now. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do we buy all this nonsense? It's not true. Well, you and I...
We don't, but the thing is, the environment has moved up the agenda in terms of political concerns. That is true. You can't deny that. It has. When you look at the polling, people do care about the environment around them. But people don't want to see the Prime Minister or ministers cozying up to the likes of Greta Thunberg, who catastrophize. I don't know if you saw recently, there were all these studies about how, young children are scared of their future. They're getting anxiety just by going outdoors. Yeah, you're right. I mean, what are we teaching our children?
It's social media based, I think, all this. It all comes from social media.
By the way, lots of people in Extinction Rebellion, the full-time workers, they've had to take time off because they're so traumatised by their own prophecy of doom. Yeah. And they are a doom cult, aren't they? I mean, that's what they call Greta the Doom Goblin. Extinction Rebellion, they're a death cult, aren't they? They prophesise doom.
But it's like with all these social justice warrior type movements, which I guess Extinction Rebellion is a part of. It's all sort of like a kind of religion, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Sort of replacing that in your life. It's something to think about all the time and to live your life by. And as a result, it does become sort of cultish. And I think it's actually detrimental to their cause. I mean, we all remember the pictures of Extinction Rebellion stopping normal working class people from getting to their employment. So I think that they lost the battle there with the public. And I wonder if
anyone else is the enemy who's not with them. That's what they look at. That's how they.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's exactly, sort of you're either in or you're out.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm getting at, Emily. That they got it wrong when they attacked Canning Station that time. They realised they've got it wrong. So they've lain low, certainly through the coronavirus crisis, but they're now planning a resurgence, obviously backed by the doom goblin, Greta Thunberg. And they think they're going to plot it correctly this time, but I would imagine that the public, with all their other concerns right now, are going to be very sensitive to any bridge blocking or transport ruining or airport screwing. It could be the death of them, couldn't it?
Well, I mean, I was so infuriated. When was it? Last summer, or was it when were they last in Parliament Square, blocking the whole, blocking all the bridges and everything? I was so confused as to why the police were doing nothing and almost
that's
joining
not true,
in
Emily. That's not true, Emily. That's not true. They were dancing with the demonstrators.
Yeah, they found something useful to do there, didn't they? But I wonder if they'll sort of go a bit more hard line this time.
Well, they need to, especially after that.
As you say, we're dealing with an actual crisis.
They ran away that protest a couple of weeks ago. The other protests, so they need to really.
Well, what they did at the last time was they did. In fact, they made loads of hundreds of arrests. I don't think anyone got prosecuted.
Did they not?
Or if any did, it was a very small number. So they were arrested and then let go. And I think what the police have got to do this time, if they want to be in accord with what the public think, is they've got to say, well, when you block the highway, that's an offence. You're going to get arrested and you're going to be in court. And that's what we want to see this time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like we're in sort of a parallel universe, just walking down the road with it blocked, with just a handful of protesters sat in their tents, and yet the police were sort of aiding it by allowing them to sort of keep the road closed. And it was a bit mental, to be honest. I hope that they do come down a little bit harder on it this time around, because it's just not on. It's not acceptable for people who want to go around and live their lives as normal, and they're not serving any great purpose. And I hope that the politicians will have words with the other MPs and make sure there's not too much of this sort of fangirling.
So Greta, don't come here. Stop with your nonsense, and I'll tell you what will be the straw that breaks the camel's back will be the sight of Emma Thompson lecturing us from that pink boat in the middle of Piccadilly.
And flying in a first-class booth.
Goodness.
If
it
that
was
happens,
there for days.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and then Emma flying in first class by jumbo jet to lecture us about save the world. But you see, my job does require global travel. That's all right then. I offset the carbon. That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
It's like Meghan and Harry, though, isn't it? With their travel charity, their sustainable travel charity, Travelist, and at the same time they're hopping on private jets
and
here,
the
there, and
Davos,
everywhere.
the Davos meeting where they all flew in their private jets.
Yes, that's the thing about climate change, and this goes for Extinction Rebellion and Greta Thunberg too. It is the epicenter of world hypocrisy. It always was and always will be, and it's going to annoy me forever. I think it'll annoy you as well, Emily and Ash. So we're all at one there. Thanks so much for your time. Let's keep an eye on these XO people and talk again. That's Emily Carver, conservative commentator. Really fed up about Greta Thunberg. I am, aren't you?
I was glad she's gone. I don't think she can make such a comeback. I don't think she'll come back.
How dare you?
How dare you?
You
have ruined it.
You take my childhood. I don't care.
Yeah.
What do I care about your childhood? Go to school.
She doesn't have a childhood. She's
school.
ruined her own childhood.
Yeah, go to school.
Yeah, play.
Be like a normal kid.
Get some
How
toys.
dare you? That's Ash. I'm Kevin O'Sullivan. This is Talk Radio.